Yellowstone's next chapter isn't just another spin-off, it's a full-blown evolution of the cowboy legacy. Yellowstone 666 is finally on the horizon, and the official trailer might be closer than you think. But this isn't just about a new ranch or a familiar face, it's about a legacy forged in blood loss and fire. From Jimmy's return to rumors of Matthew McConaughey joining the cast, the 666 spin-off is shaping up to be the most personal, most grounded, and most thrilling series in the Yellowstone universe. And the story behind it? Absolutely wild. In this video, I'm going to reveal everything. What the trailer hints at, what characters are returning, which cowboy secrets are about to explode, and when we'll finally see the 4 Sixes in all its glory. Trust me, Taylor Sheridan has something big planned. The 4 Sixes Ranch isn't just a location anymore, it's the heart of a whole new saga. And Yellowstone 6666 is not going to be your typical spin-off. It's darker, grittier, and more intimate. Unlike Yellowstone or 1923, this story doesn't just chase power, it chases purpose. And the first thing fans need to understand is that the 4 Sixes is real. It's not just a place we saw Jimmy visit in Season 4, it's a living, breathing ranch that's been running since 1870, founded by a teenage cowboy passed down through generations. And now, after a $320 million deal, it's in the hands of Taylor Sheridan himself. That's right, Sheridan didn't just write this story, he owns it. And that changes everything. He's not just creating fiction anymore, he's inviting us into his world. Every horse, every sunset, every rope thrown is the real deal. And that's why 66666 matters. It's not just about characters. It's about a way of life that most of us will never experience except through this show. And that brings us to the big question. Who's coming back? The first name, of course, is Jimmy. We all watched him go. From a clueless outsider to a man shaped by pain, discipline, and the dust of the rodeo. After being sent away from the Yellowstone ranch, broken, humiliated, and injured, he found himself at the 4 Sixes. And that's where his real transformation began. He wasn't just riding bulls anymore. He was learning how to survive, how to lead, and maybe even how to love. We saw him meet Emily, we saw him take responsibility, and we saw him make a choice to leave behind everything he knew and build something new. 666 picks up from that moment. It's not just about who Jimmy becomes, it's about what he's willing to sacrifice to protect this new life. But Jimmy won't be alone. Teeter is coming too. After losing Colby, the love of her life, in a brutal tragedy, she has nothing left. No home, no direction, and that's why she begged to come to the 4 Sixes. This isn't just a change of scenery for her, it's survival. Teeter's raw emotional energy will clash with the strict traditions of the 4 Sixes, and she'll have to prove herself all over again. But the most surprising part? Her bond with Jimmy. It's been subtle, but it's there. Both of them know what it's like to lose everything. And now they're trying to rebuild, not just their lives, but their identities. This emotional core is what will make 6666 different from the other Yellowstone spin-offs. It's not about politics or cattle wars. It's about personal redemption. And then there's Travis, played by Taylor Sheridan himself. Travis is a writer with a cocky smile and a reputation that divides fans. Some love him, some not so much. But Sheridan is clearly building something with this character. In Yellowstone, Travis was the one who brought Jimmy to the 4 Sixes. He believed in him when nobody else did. But let's be honest, he also hogged a little too much screen time. If 666 is going to work, Travis needs conflict. He needs someone to push against. And that's where the rumors come in. Because guess who might be joining the show? An Oscar winner, a real Texan, and someone with the charisma to steal every scene he's in. Matthew McConaughey. While it's not confirmed yet, all signs point to something big behind the scenes. If McConaughey joins 666, he won't be playing second fiddle. My theory? He'll be Travis's rival. A legendary cowboy who challenges the way things are run at the 4 Sixes. Maybe he's been away for years. Maybe he helped build the ranch and walked away. Either way, if McConaughey enters the story, it'll shake the foundation of everything Travis built. And for Jimmy, that means a front row seat to a battle between two giants. And don't forget, Taylor Sheridan is known for surprises. In 1923, we saw entire new Dutton family branches introduced without warning. That means Series 666 could absolutely introduce another Dutton descendant. Someone hidden away in Texas, maybe a runaway, maybe a lost son, maybe, just maybe, a connection to Spencer or Elizabeth that no one saw coming. We're not just getting a spin-off. We're getting a key that could unlock more secrets in the Yellowstone timeline. The dust is rising, the riders are ready, and the 4-6's gates are about to open, but the journey ahead won't be easy. What do you think? Can Jimmy lead this new series? Will Teeter find her place, or will the ranch break her? And if Matthew McConaughey shows up, whose side will he be on? The 666 trailer hasn't dropped yet, but behind the scenes, the clues are starting to leak, and what's being whispered might just change how we see the entire Yellowstone universe. According to insider reports and casting breakdowns, filming for 4-6's quietly began in Texas, far from the chaos of the Montana. Mountains. But don't let the peaceful plains fool you. This story is about to bring the storm. The teaser trailer, expected to arrive late 2025 or early 2026, is rumored to open with a dramatic shot of the ranch itself. Massive, isolated, and deadly quiet. Not a gun in sight. Just wind dirt and the heavy silence of history. And that's the tone Taylor Sheridan wants to set. Unlike Yellowstone, this story won't explode with drama right away. It's going to simmer, boil, and then burn. Because what's buried at the 4-6's is more than cattle and cowboy pride, it's betrayal and blood. One of the biggest rumors circling the set involves a mysterious character no one saw coming. Described only as a drifter with a dark past and ties to the Duttons, this figure is already sparking fan theories. Some believe it's a Dutton cousin who disappeared years ago. Others think it could be someone from Spencer's bloodline born in Africa and sent away to avoid scandal. But here's where it gets chilling in early casting notes. This character was listed as carries the weight of war, speaks little, trusts no one. And if that sounds like Spencer Dutton, you're not wrong. Imagine this. Spencer's child raised, in secret, hidden away in Texas, returning to reclaim a forgotten piece of the Dutton land. If that's true, then 666 isn't just a new beginning. It's a continuation of the deepest, most painful legacy in the entire Yellowstone timeline. And then there's Jimmy. In recent interviews, Jefferson White, who plays Jimmy, hinted that 6666 will test his character like never before. He thinks he's finally found peace. White said, but the ranch has its own way of revealing who you really are. That's not just a casual line, that's a warning, because what Jimmy doesn't know is that the 4-6's has enemies, powerful enemies, oil companies, land developers, old rivals with long memories. And Jimmy, he's not a warrior, he's not a Dutton, he's just a man trying to survive. But survival won't be enough here. Not when the land is under threat, not when people start disappearing, and not when the 4-6's starts demanding loyalty at any cost. The trailer is expected to hint at this tension through voiceovers and small flashes. Emily begging Jimmy to stay away from a certain area of the ranch. A cowboy walking alone at night, holding a rifle and a letter. Travis screaming at someone off-screen, "You don't know what you're waking up." These aren't just cool lines. They're breadcrumbs, clues, and they point to something darker underneath the surface. Maybe a land deal gone wrong? Maybe a death. That was never reported. Or maybe something even worse, someone from Yellowstone's past coming back to settle a score. After all, the Duttons have made plenty of enemies. Who's to say one of them didn't flee to Texas? Who's to say they're not ready to strike now? But the biggest surprise might be in the music. Taylor Sheridan is reportedly working closely with composers to create a new sound for 6666, something raw, stripped down, and filled with tension. No sweeping violins, no heroic brass, just steel guitars, slow drums, and silence. Because this isn't about glory, it's about survival. Every note in the trailer will remind you, you're not in Montana anymore, and no one's coming to save you. The trailer will also likely feature brief flashes of new characters, ranch hands rival cowboys, perhaps even a sheriff who knows more than he's letting on. But none of them will speak much. Instead, it'll be about mood, atmosphere, that creeping feeling that something's wrong, that something's coming. And when that trailer drops, the fandom is going to explode. Theories, timelines, speculation, and one big question. How does this all connect to the final season of Yellowstone? Because here's the real twist. Sources say 666 may not just be a spin-off running in the background. It might directly tie into the end of John Dutton's story. If the ranch in Montana falls, if the land is lost, if the family splinters, where do they run? Where do they hide? The answer might be the 4-6s, a place no one expects, a place still untouched by Dutton corruption, a place where a new kind of legacy can begin. Jimmy's return to the 4-6s isn't the homecoming fans expected, it's something far more dangerous. Because this time, he's not just a former ranch hand coming back to prove himself, he's the key to something bigger, something buried, deep in the soil of West Texas. At first, it looks like a clean slate. Jimmy and Emily settling into a quiet life. No more Yellowstone chaos, no more proving his worth. But peace doesn't last long at the 4-6s. As the trailer hints anew, threat is rising, and Jimmy is the first one to feel it. In one rumored scene, he discovers a blood-stained hat left on the fence line. Not a word, not a warning, just a sign, and it means only one thing: someone is watching, someone who knows the history of this ranch, and someone who doesn't want Jimmy, or anyone else, digging too deep. But Emily too has secrets. While Jimmy tries to settle in, she becomes entangled in the local politics of the region, where old ranching families, oil companies, and ruthless investors circle like vultures. Emily, once just a loyal partner, now finds herself in the middle of a deadly power game. According to sources close to production, her character will have to make a heartbreaking choice: stay loyal to Jimmy or make a deal with people who could destroy everything they've built. This isn't just a love story anymore, it's a story of survival, sacrifice, and betrayal. And it gets worse because the trailer teases a moment where Emily whispers to someone off screen, "If he finds out the truth, we'll both be dead." What truth? That's the mystery. But one thing's certain, Emily knows something she's not telling Jimmy, and it could destroy them both. Meanwhile, the 4-6s is no longer safe. Not like it used to be. There's a quiet war brewing behind the scenes. A new boss has taken control, an outsider with deep pockets and darker motives. This character, still unnamed, is said to be played by a Hollywood superstar whose involvement in 666 shocked the industry. While the showrunners haven't confirmed it, fans believe this could be the most dangerous Yellowstone villain yet. Charismatic, wealthy, and deadly calm, this new figure doesn't use guns or fists to win. He uses contracts, lawyers, and manipulation. And he wants the 4-6s for reasons no one can understand. Yet, the trailer also drops hints about Travis Wheatley, played by Taylor Sheridan himself, becoming a central figure in this spin-off. But he's not the calm, collected horse trainer we once knew. Travis is on edge, desperate, maybe even paranoid. There's a whispered line from the teaser: they think this place is just land, but it's more than that. It's power. And power draws blood. That line alone sets the tone for everything to come. The ranch isn't just under threat, it's cursed, and Travis knows it. And for those wondering whether the 4-6s will carry the same weight as Yellowstone, yes, it absolutely will. The stakes are just as high, but the tone is different. Slower, more haunting. This isn't about family feuds or court battles. It's about legacy, identity, and the slow, steady erosion of truth. It's about men who used to ride with honor, now riding with secrets. Another major surprise the trailer hints at is a connection to Rip Wheeler. Yes, you heard that right. A figure who looks eerily like Rip is seen in the background of one shot, standing at a distance, watching a branding fire. Is it a flashback, a relative, or something more shocking? Some fans believe Rip may have sent someone to the 4-6s to protect Jimmy. Others think he might show up himself, especially if the Duttons lose control of Yellowstone and need a place to regroup. Either way, the 4-6s may not be as separate from Montana as we thought. The ranch might look like an ocean of peace. Endless grass, open sky, the slow rhythm of cattle drives. But under the surface, the 4-6s holds a history soaked in. Betrayal, blood, and secrets long buried. And in the Yellowstone 666 trailer, those secrets begin to claw their way back into the light. We've heard the ranch is old, legendary, built to last. But what no one talks about is how it survived. Who was pushed off the land, what deals were made, and who was silenced to keep those deals hidden. Now that silence is breaking. And it's about to tear Jimmy's world apart. A mysterious old man appears in the teaser, weathered face, haunting voice, muttering to Jimmy, "The land remembers." That one line sends shivers, because it's not just metaphor. The land does remember. Hidden deeds, forgotten graves, broken promises. And in 6666, the land is angry. The soil itself seems cursed. Horses go missing. Cattle are found mutilated. Workers vanish without a trace. Superstition starts to spread across the ranch like wildfire. And those who've been there the longest, they stop talking altogether, as if saying the truth out loud would bring something terrible down on all of them. The deeper Jimmy gets into the daily life at the ranch, the more strange things he begins to notice. Locked barns with no explanation, riders who patrol the outer fences at night, armed like soldiers, and a name that keeps coming up in hushed tones: McClure. Who is McClure? That's the question burning through the fan base right now. Some say he was the original owner. Others whisper he was a land baron who made a deal with outlaws to protect the ranch back in the 1800s. The trailer shows his name carved into a rotting fence post with a single bullet hole through the center. That one frame tells us everything. This man is still a ghost haunting the 4-6s. And his legacy isn't done with them yet. Even Jimmy, hardened by all he's seen in Montana, isn't prepared for what's coming. The 4-6s demands more than sweat and sacrifice. It demands loyalty, obedience, and sometimes silence. There's a growing sense that Jimmy is being watched, tested, lured into something he doesn't understand. And as he starts to question, the people in charge, the people he thought were on his side, begin to turn cold. Emily warns him, this place doesn't forgive mistakes. It buries them. And the look in her eyes tells us she's already made one. But maybe the most chilling twist in the trailer is the hint that someone is trying to buy the 4-6s. Not a rancher, not even a corporation, a group tied to a global entity. Oil, government, something darker, whatever it is, they don't want the land for cattle. They want it for control. And they'll do anything to get it. Bribes, threats, even murder. Jimmy finds himself in the middle of a war that isn't about land or money. It's about power, and he doesn't know who to trust. This section of the show feels like a Western ghost story, blended with political thriller. Ancient curses meet corporate espionage, old cowboys hiding deadly secrets, and new ranch hands caught in traps they never saw coming. The 4-6s becomes more than a location. It becomes a living thing, a character, one that punishes those who betray it and rewards those who spill blood for it. If you thought Yellowstone 6666 was just a side story, think again. This is not a quiet detour from the Dutton saga. This is the foundation of something much bigger. In the trailer's final moments, as the dust swirls across the Texas plains and a distant storm rolls in, a single sentence flashes on screen. The legacy doesn't end, it evolves. And just like that, everything changes. Because 666 isn't just about Jimmy's journey. It's about the next phase of the Yellowstone universe. New families, old enemies, rising power. And it's no coincidence that the 4-6s is far from Montana. Taylor Sheridan is pulling us deeper into a world that's growing darker, bloodier, and far more dangerous than we ever imagined. We've seen how land can be inherited, defended, and destroyed. But at the 4-6s, land isn't just a battlefield. It's a throne. Whoever controls it doesn't just own acres of dirt. They own influence, wealth, a seat at the table of American power. And the battle lines are already being drawn. In secret meetings and shady phone calls, new villains are taking shape. Politicians with ranching roots, billionaires with oil ambitions, and even ex-military forces who view the West as a lawless playground. And guess who's caught right? In the middle of it all? Jimmy Hurdstrom. Once just a rookie cowboy, now a pawn in a high-stakes game he never asked to play. The trailer gives us a few glimpses of what's to come. Shots of Jimmy in a courthouse, standing beside Emily, facing charges no one will explain. Scenes of cattle stampeding as helicopters hover overhead, explosions near oil rigs, masked riders setting fire to fencing, and a cryptic conversation where an older cowboy warns Jimmy, "If the Duttons fall, this ranch is all that's left." That line might be the most important clue of all, because it confirms something we've suspected. Sisk could become the last stronghold of the Dutton legacy. Not Yellowstone Ranch, not Montana, but Texas. And if Jimmy is to lead that future, he'll have to sacrifice everything. His innocence, his loyalty, maybe even his freedom. Because the 4-6s doesn't want a cowboy, it wants a king. And the war coming for this land will crown one, or bury them all. As for the release date, Paramount has confirmed a 2026 premiere window. but no specific day just yet. What we do know is that filming is underway, and cast confirmations keep rolling in. Jefferson White is back as Jimmy, Catherine Kelly returns as Emily, and in a shocking reveal, a major A-list actor is joining the cast. Rumors point to someone with serious Western roots, possibly a Hollywood legend ready to bring gravitas and danger to the show's most powerful role yet. Could this be the face behind the McClure mystery? Or the billionaire trying to seize the ranch? Yellowstone 6666 isn't just about cowboys and cattle. It's about legacy, corruption, survival, and the cost of power. It's about how a single ranch in Texas could become the heart of an empire, or the site of its fall. And with Taylor Sheridan at the helm, one thing's for sure: this story won't end quietly.